We are now in the presence of pure being, immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. We acknowledge thy presence and thy power, O blessed Spirit. And in thy divine wisdom now, erase our mortal limitations, and from thy pure substance of love, bring into manifestation our world according to thy perfect law. Sunday, August 17th, and the word of today is prosperity. My prosperity is unlimited. I claim my good now. After King Darius hauled an unbitten Daniel from the lion's den, the king wrote to other nations to praise the divine power that delivered his Hebrew prophet by taming hungry beasts. Overcome by divine goodness, Darius prayed for abundant prosperity among the people of the ancient world. Today, the lions I face may be rising prices when shopping and greater costs for basic needs. Even in the den of apparent lack, My prosperity is unlimited. In prayer, I claim my good. Grateful to live in an abundant universe. I pray that cooperative interaction with others who are seeking their own prosperity brings an end to poverty and establishes world peace. I claim prosperity for myself and all others. Then King Darius wrote, to all peoples and nations of every language throughout the whole world, may you have abundant prosperity. Daniel 6:25.
In here it said, in prayer I claim my good, grateful to live in an abundant universe. One thing you'll notice now that you welcome me to be here with you all the time, or most of the time anyways, is that I'll be bringing more prayer. It was the foundation of unity. Myrtle and Charles built unity upon the practice of prayer and meditation. And so as we go into each service, I'd like to begin with that. Imagine a world for a moment where everybody began their day with prayer, or prayed before they reacted, prayed before they acted. Imagine for just a moment if you prayed before you acted. If you prayed every time before you reacted. Can you imagine just for a moment how different your life would be? Because as our lives are different, as we practice these principles, the world changes. While we can't change those outside of us, we can change what's within us, which then ripples out and changes everything around us. So let's take a moment just to take a deep breath and center ourselves. While silence is a beautiful place to be in prayer, I invite you first to bring to mind anyone, anything, any situation you want to hold in prayer. And if you feel led to, speak their names or speak a word or two into this space, into this holy space right now. We know that our prayers are heard, whether spoken aloud or not. We remember that our thoughts are prayers. As we breathe in the life of God, the presence of love, the spirit of joy, we breathe out any stress, any worry, any doubt. We are here now in the sacred space to remember the truth of who we are. We are here to remember that the kingdom of heaven is within us. And that happiness is not something we chase, it's something we choose. We are here now to remember that the prayers we sent out were already heard before they were spoken. And that in every situation with each person, no matter the circumstances, right there God is. Right where we are, God is. And in this, all things are possible. And we simply say thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Now if you'll join me in saying together our statement of being to reinforce that which we remember. Our truth. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This perfect all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. We are whole, and right where we are, God is. So as we prepare for meditation, I invite you just to kind of shake off anything that came before this moment. Anything that caused you to rush or worry or that's distracting you, just set it aside. You can pick it back up when we're done, if you need to. And with our next breath, take another breath and release the rest. Just be here now. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. Rest your hands gently in your lap. And let's take another deep collective breath. Long, slow breath. And as you breathe out, just relax into the space, knowing that as that chair you're sitting in supports you, Spirit supports you, mind, body, and spirit. Let go of any tension you may be holding in your shoulders, your eyebrows, your jaw, maybe your forehead or your back. And just allow that peace and calm to wash over you. Now bring your attention to your heart center. If you'd like, you can place your hand on your heart or just focus on the beat that happens even without the need to control it. Imagine a brilliant warm light glowing there, right in the center of your heart. Feel its warmth. This is the Christ light within you. The truth of your being. The source of all joy. Using our power of will, your divine I am. Consciously choose to turn your attention to this light again. Just feel its radiance, its comfort, its peace. Feel the warmth of joy in your heart. Not as an emotion that we manufacture, but a presence that you are allowing yourself to notice, a presence that is within you, even when you're not paying attention. Breathe in that light of joy. And breathe out any remaining thoughts of worry or rush. Breathe in that light of peace. Breathe any thoughts out of doubt or uncertainty. Breathe in the light of happiness. And even the smallest of rays. And breathe out any thoughts of lack or limitation. With your will, repeat these words silently to yourself. I choose joy. I choose happiness. I choose forgiveness. I choose peace. I am the I am of my life. I choose to align myself with the good that is everywhere present. I choose to align myself with God within. Feel the presence of this truth settle into every cell of your being, from the top of your head, your thoughts, your memories, the beat of your heart, through every cell in your body down to the bottom of your feet. And allow yourself to rest in this knowing, in this truth, that you are a center of divine love, divine joy. You are that light. That is the truth of who you are in this moment and always. So for just a moment, picture yourself radiating this light out into the world. And then welcome it back into your heart. And as we begin to bring our attention back to the space, feel that light coming back into this moment, into this room, returning you to the memory of wholeness. Reminding you that you are aligned with the will of God. When you're ready, you can bring movement back to your fingers, your toes, open your eyes. Just look around and see in others. That's the power we have, even when we can't see it for ourselves. We will have a meditation response, but I invite you, as we read these words, as we sing these words, to know that we are always acceptable in God. That there's nothing we must do to be alive because we always are. So keep that in mind as we sing these words. We know that we are always accepted and aligned.
Side to side.
decision to make, don't you? So this month is Happiness Happens Month, which just brings me joy and excitement to even think about. This was started by a group called the Secret Society of Happy People, although it's not so secret. They have tons of fun stuff on their website if you want to check it out. But the thing that I really love is their motto, which is, don't even think of my parade. And we have a choice, but if you notice, there are many opportunities for people to rain on our parade if we let them. And if you notice that some people have instant access to our buttons to push, and then others are like, whatever. What if we could, whatever, a little more often, and just be radiant in that? It's also, what will be your legacy month? Ooh. Think about that for a moment. Let's not go all the way to the end. Let's say you move out of town. Let's say we all follow Peggy to Florida. I would like to do that personally. That's my goal in life. Let's say we all do that. Who will those you left behind remember you to be? Your legacy is simply the impact you leave on others. Will it be the chronic complainer? We all know one of those. Do you think they know that we think of them that way? They probably don't. Will it be the person who lit up every room they walked in? Let's think about that. I thought those two went really well together. What will your legacy be? Might it be that you are part of the secret society of happy people? Have you noticed though, now I came dressed in vacation mode today. Vacation all day. Have you ever noticed when you're on vacation that even your sunglasses are happier than normal? I mean, I don't wear these every day. I wear serious ones. Like at a work outing, I went to a Tigers game a couple weeks ago, and I didn't wear these. That would have been awkward with coworkers. But why? Why are your clothes more comfortable on vacation? Why are they cuter and brighter? I don't wear this color to work. Have you ever noticed when you walk in, especially corporate America, how everybody's wearing like black and brown maybe if they're stretching? What would it take if we were willing to choose things that brought us joy on a normal day? I, for the record, oh now I'm messing with the mic in my pocket, even have seashells in my pocket. Because I'm good on vacation. The only difference is I don't have sand in my pocket today, which is good because it's messy. Do you have seashells in your pocket? Why not? What brings you joy? Or kids, you ever notice that kids have snacks in their pockets often? I often wish I had snacks in my pocket. Don't you? I mean, for real. So, what is it about vacation or days off that allows us to slow down a bit? Or allows us to turn on music? When there's something stressful going on, does your favorite song still exist? But we usually don't turn it on then. We are the creators of our own reality. Instead of hinging happiness on whatever it is, when you get the promotion or meet the love of your life or pay off your debt or lose the 20 pounds, what if we allowed it right now? It doesn't have to be an external event. Happiness is an internal state of being. And yes, thoughts do just happen sometimes. You know, they say thoughts become things. Your thoughts become things. And I get an email every day from the universe. And I'll tell you more about it if you want, ask me after. And it's always a fabulous message. And at the bottom of the message, it says, thoughts become things. Choose good ones. Choose. If it's a choice we make, a muscle we strengthen, a discipline, a habit, a practice, right? Then why would we choose anything else? Because yes, thoughts do just happen now and then. I have thoughts that cross my mind that even I'm like, what? Where did that come from? And then I'm like, okay, let's move on. Well, the same thing with happiness. Sometimes happiness does just happen. Somebody can surprise you, bring you your favorite dessert, give you a hug. Sometimes it happens without you necessarily having to go out and seek it. But it's also our choice. Charles Fillmore said that happiness is the result of the power of will. That's how power comes on. So he teaches us that this will is an executive power of our mind. Everything in unity is about conscious thinking, right? Everything we experience began here. And this is the power of choice. Because we can choose. This is the only thing we really have any control over. Have you noticed? Out there, other people, they just don't often do exactly what we want. At least in my experience. And yet, we have this choice, this faculty in our mind to direct our thoughts, to direct our choices. And it's not just about forcing things to happen, though. We can't force most things to happen. In fact, I've often said to people, think about when you're trying to push somebody. What happens when you push? It gets further away, right? I can't push you into being closer to me. I can't push things. If we're talking what we're drawing to us, manifesting, attracting, attract is the opposite of push, right? So our thoughts, our feelings, these are things that we can choose within. And it's really about consciously, deliberately, mindfully choosing to align our thoughts. That's why I said even with our meditation response, it's not so much that we have to pray to be accepted, because I'm here to tell you that no matter what you're doing, how you're showing up, how you're behaving, and let's take a moment to have a deep breath, because this applies to everyone in the world, no matter how they're acting. Ooh, they're always aligned, they're always accepted by God. They're just not always aligned with the principles. But they're always, one more time, everybody. Everybody, even that one, you're like, but even that one. Even that one. No matter how they're behaving, they're always accepted by God. You are always accepted by God. That's not even a prayer we have to pray anymore. Check done. Always. Can never not be. You are always accepted. But we can choose to align. We can choose our path, our thoughts, what we're going to react to. Like I said, can you imagine a world where everyone prayed before reacting? How different would things be? How different would you be if you paused to pray first? When you wake up, before you respond to that text that you got that maybe rubbed you the wrong way, before you react. It's the I am that says, I choose joy, I choose happiness, I choose peace. And remember, the I am is the name of God and is a reflection of who you are. So if our thoughts become things, what are you choosing to focus on? Just run through your average day. For many of us, it's the agenda, the schedule, the to-do list. And that's okay. Where's God in that? Because you can bring God into all things. You can be aligned in all things. And when we're aligned, we're very mindful, we're very present to notice when something maybe that didn't make the agenda requires us even more than whatever this does. And yet, have you ever, or how about this? Let's for a moment, let's go the easy route. Have you ever noticed someone else, because, we rarely want to take it on ourselves, right? Have you ever noticed someone else so behind the busyness that they didn't even notice when you were sad? Or they didn't even notice that they stepped on the cat? I mean, it happens, right? Or I don't used to say, I have a son and a daughter, and when my son was a teenager, his feet are like the size of boats. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like you didn't even realize you just stepped on, your sister's artwork or whatever. Oh, like oblivious. Teenage boys can be a little bit like, what do you mean? There's no food in the fridge, you know? And yet, it's just that they're in the busyness of wherever their mind is. So when we align ourselves, we're really becoming more present. So think about it. Have you ever been in a difficult situation? And despite the circumstances, you found something you were grateful for, or something that made you feel good, just a glimmer? Just a glimmer. Even though. Because it's both and. It's all included. And so even if somebody else is going through something, this is something I think we can all relate to. Have you ever been present with a friend or family member who was upset about something, and so you didn't share your good news with them because it didn't feel appropriate? Have you ever been upset about something and had someone share good news and it made your day? Why do we hold back that light? Just a thought. So think about this, a rudder on a ship, right? I mean, I'm probably doing this wrong because I think it has its more propellers. But think about a rudder, what does it do? It directs us. If you turn it this way, now funny because it goes the opposite way up boat, right? If you go this way, it goes the opposite. But think about it when we learn to guide. The world might be tossing waves and you just have to navigate a little stronger when you're on the boat. To say, okay, this is rocking my world over here, but let me just take a moment to turn this direction. Let me go away from the chaos, right, or the big waves. You have this power. The stress, the worry, the upset. Our will is what allows us to direct ourselves, to direct the ship, our thoughts. And our thoughts are a little bit like a wavy boat or thing. Mine are. Sometimes they're like, you know, a whole carnival in the water, all over the place. And when I notice that, I can direct them. That's the power of our will. Charles Fillmore said, the will is the I am in action. The I am that chooses and acts on its own decisions. I'm going to say that again. Charles Fillmore said, the will is the I am in action. The I am that chooses and acts on its own decisions. Chooses. We always have a choice. We are co-creators of our reality. Now, we may not always love the choices, but we always have a choice. We may not always have the choice we want. You may have 5 choices and you're like, but what about that one? But if you and you're looking for the one dish that's not being served, who suffers? Because you can still choose from what else is there. Or you can choose to leave and go somewhere else. Well, but my whole family's at that buffet. Yeah, they are. And you can choose to have something that's there. Or you can go somewhere else and they can stay if they choose. It's okay. They're still your family. Even if they prefer something different. Ooh. Even if anybody have a family member that prefers something different, to put it mildly? Yeah. And some of those other choices I don't even understand. It's like, but why would you want to have lunch for dinner? Well, that's your choice, right? What if that was okay? What if it was okay? How much happier would you be if it was okay that your friends and family chose differently than you? I'm not asking for their change or their choices to change, but how much happy would you be if you allowed it to be okay? I don't know, I'd be a lot happier. On the days that I can let them do what they want, even if it doesn't agree with my preferences, I am so much happier. Because on the days when I'm trying to talk them into doing it my way, honestly, I don't even know if it causes them nearly as much suffering as it does me. Because I'm the one spinning my wheels. And then at the end of the day, I'm exhausted and they're still doing it their own way. Nonsense, isn't it? What is it to be a mom if they don't do it your way? So, come on, I thought I had more power than that. And I do. Right here. The power that I have, the power that you have, is to choose. And if you're focusing on what is it when you want them to do something different, it's fear that maybe their choices aren't good for them, or whatever the story is, right? What if you shifted from fear to love? Because often when we're reacting out of fear, it's because we love so much. Have you ever had a situation where two people saw things completely different, and they both were coming from a place of love and just wanted the best for the other? Martha Creek shares a wonderful story through COVID about her and her brother and their difference of opinions of vaccines, and it doesn't matter who believes what, they believe different. And one day her brother said, "I'm just concerned for your well-being." And she said, "And I'm just concerned for yours." Both from love. And the peace came when they could let each other make their own choice. In Philippians 4:8, it says, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." It's in the Bible. It's instructions right there. This direction is more like instruction to use your will. Paul, in a very New Thought sort of way, even back then, right, is simply telling us to deliberately, consciously direct your mind, direct your thoughts. But this isn't about denying reality, though. Often people think, and I've been criticized for being too happy, too positive. That can't be real. Well, again, it isn't about denying reality so much as choosing what you focus on. I'm not, sorry, I'm distracted right now. It's here, my shoulder. If you see me like glancing, it's not you, it's me. And look at how I chose for a moment to focus on it. Did you see how I suddenly became not present? Because I chose to address what I may have been feeling, real or not. When's the last time you did that? We choose not to deny what's in reality. We can figure out on how to address this while we also focus on this. If there's something going wrong, let's say you get a flat tire or something happens with your car, but you need to go to work. Do you find a ride to work and drop your car off to the shop? Probably. I mean, you find a solution to both, right? However you choose. You don't deny this because of this. You work with them. So this instruction in the scripture is really just saying that you get to choose the thoughts that heal, that uplift, that bless you. And we're the directors. And often, when we are choosing peace of mind, when we are choosing the joy, we are more aligned and in a healthier state of mind to address what is going wrong. Where when we're in react mode, when our amygdala has been hijacked, that fight, flight, or freeze mode kicks in, we're barely hearing or noticing what's going on, we're just reacting. Choosing to align ourselves with the presence of God within us allows us to come into center and to open our eyes from that place where we can see clearly, where we can see more options. Think about if there's chaos in a room, who is the one that usually resolves the issue or calms people down? Is it the one reacting? The one running around, the one fire, fire, fire? Or is it the one that's able to be calm in the moment and direct people? It's just a choice, and I'm not saying it's always easy to choose. But our third principle says that we are co-creators with God, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. And so in that moment, the person reacting hasn't paused to think about the next step. They're reacting to whatever the emotion is, whatever the fear is. The person in calm says, okay, somebody's got to keep it together. I guess it's me today. Have you ever been the one that made that choice? The one that had to be the responsible in the midst of chaos? It's just a choice. Eric Butterworth said that we are not given a life of circumstances. We are given a life of opportunities to express the divine within us. He said happiness is one of those opportunities to express the very joy of God that is our birthright. It's your birthright. So how do we put this into practice? How do we strengthen this muscle? And I'm telling you that's what it takes. Especially if you're not already there, if this isn't your normal practice, or you don't find it quite that easy. And it's okay. This is not a time for judgment. This is a time for practice. If you want to build muscles, you can't go to the gym once. And you probably have to do it more than just on the days you feel like it. Because I know I do have friends. I have a friend who owns a gym, and it is like they live it, breathe it. I'm pretty sure it's in his blood. And he loves it and thrives on it, and it's kind of like, just everything. And we all have something like that. We all have something that we will do regularly, no matter the obstacle, because it's just what we do. Do you only brush your teeth when you feel like it? Most of us do it every day. I hope. But if I only exercised when I felt like it, well, it wouldn't be in existence. Because it's not in my blood. It's not mine. In fact, I have to disguise it. I do things like gymnastics and Zumba, because those sound like fun. Don't tell me, but those are also exercise. Shh. On the days that I'm doing that, I'm like, this is just fun. I'm not thinking of exercise. If I waited until I felt like it, it might not happen. So even in the moments where you feel a little cranky, or you're feeling like, if they'd still just do it my way, I know what she said, but the world would be better if they would just do it my way. Have you ever had that thought? Wouldn't things just be better if they did it my way? I've had that thought. Come on, we're all human. I mean, even if you're not thinking the whole world, just bring it into your family, your neighbor. I've had a neighbor. I've had one of those. I moved away from them. What if we could just practice? And that's what I want to invite you to do. Practice. So how we're going to do this, if you're willing, and you don't have to do it this way, there's many ways to do it. But I have a challenge for you. And there are flyers out there, and somewhere here I think I have one. There's flyers on the tables out there, but also by the offering basket for the 100 Happy Days Challenge. Now this challenge can be done in a few ways, but first I want to tell you about how it started. And this is probably 20 years ago now that this started or more, where a young man, 26 years old, named Dimitri, was really struggling with depression, really is what it sounds like. And he was just like, I just can't. It just makes me so unhappy. Every day something makes me unhappy. And his friends kind of challenged him on that. Like, dude, you got this great job, you have friends, all this stuff. Look at your car, all these things that you work for that make you happy, that are good. He's like, I know. I just forget to notice. So he asked his friends to hold him accountable. And so I don't remember what platform he did it on, maybe Instagram or something of that sort on social media. He said, every day for 100 days, I'm going to post a picture of something that made me happy that day. And I want you guys to hold me accountable. Now this caught on like wildfire. I believe it was the Today Show that somehow got word of this. And there's an article on this, and I mean, it's just now there's a website. And again, every day, he just noticed something. Now for him, he posted a picture, and he has a hashtag, which I can explain those to you. It's not, most people don't understand what they do, but they're kind of a cool thing. And anyone that now takes this challenge and uses this hashtag, you can go and see all of these things that made them happy. And I'll tell you what, it's not usually winning the lottery or losing the 100 pounds or meeting their soulmate. Although I would like all of those things personally. Feel free to send them my way if you're willing to share. Often it was that cup of tea that smelled so good. Or the kind conversation they had in the grocery store with a stranger. Or the soft feel of their favorite shirt. It doesn't take big, ginormous things that we're often waiting on and hinging our happiness on. Now, this challenge doesn't have to be done on social media, although those who are on my Facebook, and you're all welcome to add me if you'd like, notice that I do this. About once a year, sometimes twice, usually on January 1st. But I chose now, not only because Happiness Happens Month, I mean, it fits, right? But because if we start on Tuesday, I think, my opinion and how I count to 100, and how Google does it, and how AI does it, we've all come up with different days. It shouldn't be that hard. But I'm pretty sure if we start on Tuesday, which gives you a whole day tomorrow to get ready, then we will end, our 100th day will be the day before Thanksgiving. And what way to come into Thanksgiving. So what you do is every day, either write in a journal if you don't want to share it publicly. That's okay. Write in a journal, or find a friend to text every day, a statement or a picture. It doesn't have to be a picture. Just something, remember, happiness is what? It's gratitude. It's consciousness, something that puts a smile on your face. You don't call it what you want, something you're grateful for today. Maybe text it to a friend every single day. Find someone to partner up with. Even if they're not doing it, you can still text it to them. Or post on social media and let us see if you're up for that. Over the years, one of the biggest responses I have gotten to this challenge when I do it is other people on my social media who aren't doing the challenge that tell me I've reminded them not only to look for the good, but it comes in even the smallest of ways. Even the smallest. At work, I keep a jar of candy on my desk. Candy that isn't my favorite, so that I can let it be on my desk without eating it. And I can't tell you how many people be like, you have no idea how much this means. Just this little piece of chocolate, right? I also have on my desk at work a button. It looks like a smiley face. And if you push it, it says, you are awesome. And at least once a week, one in particular VP runs out of his office looking and pushes it, and then he goes back and says, okay, friendly reminder, right? Take it whatever way you can get it. Maybe that button would be his happiness that day. Obviously it is, and you can see it restored him. So I invite you to join me in one way or another to see, does anybody here think we could be happy for 100 days in a row? We got one. Okay, there we go, a few more. All right. Like, guys, we can all do this if we choose. And it doesn't mean the 24-hour period of every day is going to be the best thing in the world. It doesn't mean every moment you're going to be happy. I find that here it's an over 50 thing. I find that I wake up feeling like I've been fighting overnight, like I'm sore, and things like, I have to stretch, I'm like, what did I do overnight? That moment doesn't feel like the happiness, right? So even if you don't wake up with it, you can choose it. When I wake up feeling all, I stretch. What if we paused in the moments that felt uncomfortable and stretch? And then every single day, in some way or another, record just one thing. I don't drink coffee, but the espresso machine in our office seems to bring a whole lot of happiness to people. I don't get it because I don't like it. I don't drink it. But I'll tell you though, this website, you can also go on the 100, the number is 100happydays.com website. And it's really a fabulous community. But on there they said that statistically 70% of people say they don't have time to do this. Let me point out that that means 70% of people don't have time to pause for just a moment to notice the good in their day. It's a choice. All it is noticing it. Even if you don't write it down or post it somewhere, 70%, that means 70% of people are caught up in the opposite of choosing. The opposite of choosing, period, because most people don't choose unhappiness. They just show up in it, it's there, it's somebody else's fault, right? They didn't pause to choose. So I'm asking you to choose for 100 days. And on the days, the thing I have found that I really love is that whenever I take this challenge, there ends up being at least one, usually about 3 days, where I'm like, where is the happiness in this one? But I'm really good about accountability. So I want to keep my promise of doing this, especially because I do it on social media. And so if I get to that point in the day and nothing is coming to mind that was fabulous that day, first of all, it tells me I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't mindful throughout the day. So that allows me to be more mindful the next. But I pause and go, okay, we got to do something happy before the day closes. Maybe I go make some hot cocoa. Maybe I color a coloring book. I don't know, whatever, right? Turn on that favorite song. When you're having a heck of a day, does your favorite song still exist? Does your favorite dessert still exist? Is there still a friend you can call? If not, make a friend before you leave the building today. For real. So let us commit together to making this happen. Happiness Happens Month? Yeah. Because we are co-creators with God. That's our second principle. The thoughts held in mind, which then lead to the actions, to the words, to the interactions, to our experience. So let's commit to be deliberate. Let's be intentional together. Are your daily habits getting you closer to the life you desire or keeping you back? Are your interactions, your conversations, your patterns in each day getting you closer to joy or holding you back? Happiness isn't a prize to be won, although I did bring shells in case anyone else would like something to put in their pocket. Because this is what makes me happy. Maybe it'll make you too. Maybe on the days you're struggling to find happiness, you can be the creator of it for someone else. There's a ripple effect, just as our tithing, as we put that out into the world, it comes back to us. So the truth of our being is just waiting for us to say yes. So if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, yes. If you're happy and you know it, choose your will. If you're happy and you know it, speak your faith. If you're happy and you know it, use your strength, your love, be it, demonstrate it, share it, scatter it, and choose it for you. So before I close, I would just like to share a little something that I'm doing, or hope to do. I need your participation. Not only in sharing shells, which I'll do afterwards, but I have this sign-up sheet here that being here, your spiritual leader, doesn't just mean talking on Sundays to me. And I hope this serves you. I hope this is nourishment for you. But it means that I'm entering into a family and community in a deeper way. For me, anyway. So I have a sign-up sheet, and I have 2 dates each month from now through December. Only one date in December because Christmas. But each date I have that I've chosen here has 5 slots. I would like to have lunch with you guys. I would like to get to know you better. I'd like to hear who you are, what you're about. I'd like to tell you who I am, to answer questions you may have. So I'm going to put this out there, and again, there's enough slots. Don't sign up more than once. We can have lunch again, but you only need to sign up on here once. But that's the pink paper. There are a few people, like our board members, our platform hosts, our music team, that I would like to have a one-on-one with, just as we'll also talk a little bit deeper about some of the things we're doing. But I hope you would be willing to step a little deeper into this happiness that comes from community and connection. So I'll put this out there if you're interested or not. And if you feel like you just really need to be in a date that's gotten filled up, I mean, we can probably make that happen. Life is flexible, isn't it great? So let's take another deep breath. And think about what it might look like if we were in vacation mode every day. What if we wore our fun, happy rainbow glasses with hearts on them out even when we're not on the beach? What if we spread happiness in different ways, like having lunch together? Take a moment to smile in the littlest of ways. What if more people chose to be happy for 100 days or even for one? Because the truth is, we have to choose one day, one breath at a time. That's not just for sobriety. That's for every day, for the happiness that is ours to choose if we wish. So let's take one more deep breath, and if you're willing, let me hear you say yes.
Yes.
How about one more time like you mean it?
Yes.
There it is.
Yes.
Allow your voice to be heard. Again, as we go into the Lord's Prayer, as we sing this song, sing it as an affirmation of our choice. Because a prayer is saying, help me to make this choice. That's what every prayer is. Help me to be at peace. Help me to be alive. Help me to be what God intended for me to be. So again, as we sing this prayer, this message, this Lord's Prayer, remember that the I am is not out there, but in here. Imagine a world where we always pray first. Let's begin with prayer. Let's take it out into the world. And remember that as we give, not only of our tithes in monetary form to support this wonderful church and the meetings and me being here and other guest speakers and the snacks and all of the wonderful things that happen here. But remember that as we give of our time, our talent, our treasure, both within these walls, but also out in the world, we're always giving, sometimes maybe in ways we don't even realize. That what we give is pressed down, shaken together, runs over, and comes back to us. And that as we give, we're acknowledging God as our source. In the Bible, it says to give 10% back to that where you were spiritually fed. And then that is returned to us. It's simply a form of saying thank you. Thank you for meeting all of my needs. Thank you for this opportunity to give and to receive. Because it is a law of circulation as we give, so it returns. So as we hold in our hands our prayer of offering, I invite you to truly realize what you are giving, and even if you're not giving in form of money today in that basket, hold in your hands the love, the prayers, the faith that you give in this space and out in the world. And say with me our prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give it joyfully and easily, for the universe is my source, and the providence is my creation. And thank you, God, for the many ways in which we have the opportunity to give, to acknowledge you as our source, as a source of all good within us, within this community, within the world. And so as we give, we just say thank you, God, and we bless our offerings and say amen. First of all, I want to thank those who attended virtually our first prayer meditation session on Wednesday. As you know, we don't have to read through all of our repeating announcements, but as it was shared last week, on the second Wednesday of every month, I'll be doing a virtual prayer meditation. On the fourth Wednesday of every month, we'll do it in person. Wait, is that right? Is that in the right order? Yeah, okay. So our next virtual one will be the Wednesday, the day right before World Day of Prayer. And during that online prayer session, I will also be having a dear friend of mine, Julie, join us every morning at 8 a.m. I join a Zoom call for 15 minutes where we chant Sanskrit chanting for world peace. She's going to join us during that prayer meditation session that evening at 6 o'clock on September 10th. And she'll join us for the second half, which is our meditation time, and she'll lead us in chanting, which is what I do every morning, and it's been beautiful. So it's a really powerful experience. It's online, so even if you're coming in person, which I hope you will, to World Day of Prayer, whether through all the hourly slots, which I know Linda has a sign up for out there, I hope you'll pray with us either here or at home. Know that they're not alone in this world, to know that even the slightest glimmer of happiness might be that ray of light in the darkness, because some people might be in a cave right now. And we don't have to go in the cave with them, but sometimes just to knock on the side and say, I'm right here, whenever you're ready. I'm still with you. You're not alone. We can be that glimmer. We can be that connection. And sometimes we have to go out of our way, wiggle our way through chairs, maybe do something different to make that connection. And that's my invitation to you this week. So I hope you'll join me in 100 happy days. Let me know if you plan to participate in any way. I'd just love to know if anyone else is doing it with me, whether you do it online or not. And let me know just some of the things you notice as we go through the next 100 days together. So now, I'm going to hop behind you or hop over somewhere so I can see you all. I like to see you. I get to see what Connie can put